Hi, I'm Dave Atkinson, and welcome to Life on the Straight. This 14th installment in the Epic Remodel series covers the weeks of January 5th through the 18th in 2020. In this segment, our area is hit hard by snow, but that doesn't get in the way of two big installations, windows and our new furnace. Once the lower portions of the old siding had been removed, the crew went about marking up the Tyvek wrap with what would be the layout for the new HardiPlank siding. Frank's preference is to have the upper horizontal part of the exterior window trim align with the underside of the HardiPlank. It provides a cleaner look than houses you see where the siding has been cut into in order to make room for the trim. Their siding layout was perfect with one exception, the window in the garage. And it wasn't off by much, I think an inch or less. Frank said that they could trim around the existing window, but it was just one of those little things where it would not look right. And he asked if we would pay a little extra to have that window placement reframed in order to fit the new layout. And of course, we agreed to do that. The new window in the laundry room hallway had arrived, so the crew installed it as well as the end casement window and the new garage window. Looking down the hallway from the great room, it was amazing just how much light those four windows brought into that area of the house. Airflow's HVAC team was busy during the first week of this period as well. They connected the suspended whale in the attic, and that would be the primary cold air return duct, with the smaller secondary cold air return vent that led to the master bedroom. They also brought insulated ductwork through the laundry room crawl space over to the register near the far east wall that sat below the new casement window, and brought pipes and cabling into that same crawl space where it exited through the north wall. And that would be where the new heat pump compressor unit would later go. In the basement, the HVAC team dismantled the old heat pump's furnace unit and installed our new furnace. They rigged up the electric heater component of the old furnace so that it could function as a huge space heater once the sheetrock phase of the project, or I should say sheetrock phase of the project, was underway, as taping is a wet process and requires heat for everything to properly dry. Whereas the old heat pump furnace unit sat out in the middle of the basement space, the new unit sat right up against the east wall, giving the basement more usable contiguous space. Ventilation ducts were also installed from the fans in the two bathrooms to roof-mounted vent caps. The laundry room would receive its own ceiling-mounted ventilation fan, and it arrived but had not yet been installed. On the outside of the house, all of Frank's custom fabricated metal hose bib blocks had been installed, and the plumber finished installing all of the hose bibs, including the special hot-cold one next to the garage door. In a previous episode, I mistakenly said that the ductwork for the new range's downdraft vent had been installed, but it actually happened this week, at least the metal part that exited through the south wall below the front deck. By Wednesday, the crew was removing the last of the old siding from the bedroom area south wall. By Thursday, they had the two new casement windows installed for the two small bedrooms, and by Friday they installed the two basement picture windows directly below the bedroom windows. They had also removed the last of the old siding from the west wall and were prepping it for new windows. Monday was an interesting day, as we awoke to Wes, who was one of the crew, making noise outside of our coach. He was always the first to arrive, and he was busy shoveling off the landing platform that led into our motorhome. A few days later, when the snow was much deeper, he would do it again. As the door to our coach opened outwards, the deep snow on the landing would have prevented us from opening the door had he not been diligent to keep it clear for us. Wes and John, all bundled up, continued work on the west side of the house for window installation. And meanwhile, our triangular polyurethane gable vents had arrived. On Tuesday, the day was consumed with window installation on the west wall, and by the end of the day, all 7 windows on both levels were in. During these 2 days, the crew also installed Tyvek wrap to the front deck walls. Then came Wednesday, and Mother Nature dumped a massive amount of snow throughout the area, which ground things to a halt. Our scheduled walkthrough with the electrician concerning changes and suggestions was put on hold. Now, Wes lived nearby and arrived to shovel our landing once again, but nobody else showed up, so then he went back home. Amy was once again on top of things in the laundry room, recognizing that the new cabinets slated to go above the washer and dryer were a little too tall. The washer lid, when open, would strike them. Those cabinets had already been built. Jeff sent Amy 2 drawings. One was to ship things over to the east end of the house, but that would leave her with a shorter close rod. The other would be to construct new cabinets and reuse the ones that were already made by placing them elsewhere, such as out in a garage. The second option is what we went with, as the garage had no cabinets at all. Frank also provided us with updated hall bathroom elevations for us to choose from. Both drawings were of the toilet vanity wall. One drawing had the wall entirely tiled, and the other had it where a good portion of the wall was sheetrock, and we decided to go with the all-tile option. And that wraps up 2 cold and later snowy weeks of our Epic Remodel project. Thank you for watching Life on the Straight, and please consider subscribing, which is free, to stay abreast of new content. And be sure to like and share as well.